Good morning and thank you for coming to our phonics meeting. It's a bit weird doing it this way, but I thought I would try. Normally I'd like to do it with you in the room, but I'm going to try and get as much information to you as possible about what we do in phonics. If you are watching it live at 10 o'clock, the time it goes on, there'll be a live chat available. Myself and Mrs. Wood both have access to our computers during this time and will be available to answer your questions. If you have any questions at a later date, we're happy to answer via Dojo. So, what is phonics? Phonics is when we use sounds to teach your children to read. It is the building blocks of learning to read so that they can be confident to read independently. We are trying to build independent readers. In Key Stage 1 and early years, phonics is one of our main priorities because we are trying to make sure that when your child gets to Key Stage 2, they don't need lots of support with their reading and they're able to complete any of the activities they need to. Maths has reading in it, English has reading in it, all of the subjects they do have reading in it, which is why what we are doing in phonics is so important. Some sounds are bouncy, like ah, 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 and some stretch out long, like It's important that when we teach these sounds, we teach them as purely as possible. That means not adding a sound at the end so the children can learn to read more accurately. Sometimes when we say this sound, we say s, but that is incorrect. We need to make sure that we are saying s. Just like m should be said and t. So it's important that if your child is adding this extra sound, you correct them and show them the right way to do it. On YouTube, I have another video where I have put all of the sounds on there. If you would like me to reshare that link, let me know and I'll send it to you. We teach phonics using a systematic approach. We start with sound cards and we teach the children the sound and the handwriting rhyme to go with it. Then we move on to green words, which are words that can be sounded out. So the children are learning how to read words before we then move on to books. You might have noticed that I have a frog on my shoulder. This is my friend Fred, and Fred helps your children to learn phonics. Fred is not like us. He doesn't speak in words, he speaks in sounds, and it's the children's job to translate those sounds into words. So if I say k-at, your child will then put it back together to make the word cat. You can help your child to develop their early reading skills by using Fred Talk at home. I've included a video of Eli working with his mum to follow instructions using Fred Talk.
Right, Eli, we're going to go for a walk to the shop.
Okay, shop.
So can you go and get your coat on,
Coat,
please?
Please.
And it's very cold, so do your zip up.
Zip.
Don't forget your hat.
Hat. On.
And then say goodbye to the dog.
Dog. Bye, doggy.
Thanks, Eli. That was some great work with Fred Talk. So what should you be doing to encourage reading at home? We can start off by reading some books. I've chosen a selection of my favourite books. Reading daily with your child will really help them to develop a love of reading. If you don't have access to many books at home, we have a school YouTube channel where some of the teachers have read some books to the children. So use that if you can. But there's also opportunities to read all around the house. You could read packets, you can read anything you can find. You can read the TV guide if you like. The children can find things to read around the house that will encourage them to love reading and see why it is so important. So what should I be reading with my child at home? In reception, you start off by taking home a sound blending book. This book starts with sounds that you can blend into words. Your child will probably also be taking home a wordless picture book. This is to help them with their understanding of what is happening, and they just need to talk to you about the pictures. Once they have completed this stage, they will move onto a paper ditty. This is like a story, but just on a piece of paper, and you need to help them read like you would a story. After the ditties, they will move on to the different coloured books. I've got the pink one as an example. They will take home one book. This book they will seem very confident with, as they will have read it multiple times in school. They will also have a second book that either looks exactly the same as the other one, or is a book bag book like this. This will be an unfamiliar text. They will need more help with this, but it has sounds in that they can read because it's from the same colour. Your child will start from red books and move all the way up to grey books. Before you start the actual reading of the story, there are some sections at the beginning of the book that you need to read first to make their reading experience a lot more simple. There'll be a simplified version of this speed sounds chart. Some of the letters will be in bold and they are the focus ones for that book. Make sure they can point to the sounds and say them speedily because that will make it easier for them to read the story. There's also a green word section. Children should Fred talk the words and blend them together. If they can read all of those words, they can read the whole story simply. There is also a red word section. These are words that the children cannot Fred talk, they should just know. Make sure they are pointing to these and saying them speedily. If they do all of these parts, they should be able to read the story. I've included another video now of Eli doing this at home with his mum.
Right. Speed sounds. O. Story green words.
Alf. Tap. Wand. No. What? Wench.
Witch. This one.
Wand. Imp. Stitch.
It's not sh. What's this special friend? Well done. Say it all together. Stitch. King.
Cash. Mendingo.
Well done. Red words. You ready?
You.
When it has an F on the end, it becomes
B. No. 2. Said.
Right, now I'm going to read. Okay?
This is Elf.
Elf.
Thanks, Eli, for showing us how to use the books. Another way you can help your children at home is by using the Phonics online videos. Myself and Mrs. Wood are working as a team this year to provide the best phonics teaching for your children. So this year we have decided that because of the COVID lockdown, we would use that as an opportunity to provide online learning videos for phonics. We have got all of the sounds from set 1 to set 3 on there for you to use at home. We have noticed a huge difference in the children who are using them at home because they are confident in their sounds. If you use these as regularly as possible, you will help your child become more confident in their reading. We also use our phonics lessons as an opportunity to teach children to spell. Fred helps us out with this one too. We use our Fred fingers. When I'm teaching children to spell a word, for example cat, I get them to hide the number of sounds that are in the word. They then show me and we pinch the sounds the same way that we would read a book, so from left to right. So cat, k-at, cat. All of this is to prepare for something that this year we are calling the 40-word challenge. I'm going to let Mrs. Wood explain that to us now.
Normally in the Year 1 summer term, the children will be doing a phonics screening test, but because of the school closures, Year 2 will now be doing these in the first week of December. The children will read 40 words. Some will be alien words, which will have a picture of an alien next to them, and some will be real words. It's really important that they find their special friends and Fred talk and read the word so that they don't turn the alien word into a real word. Next week I will be posting an old screening test onto Dojo so that you can have a look at it with your child. Maybe sit down with them and they can show you how we've been doing it at school.
On the day of the 40-word challenge, your child will complete their challenge with their class teacher. Before they go to do it, Mrs. Wood will work with them and help them to remember that they need to use their special friend's Fred talk and read the word. That will help them to feel as confident as possible for this challenge. We want them to be excited for it because it's a chance to show us how amazing they are. So make sure that they don't think it's something to worry about, it is something to show off their skills. If you've managed to get to the end of this video, well done. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please let us know. We're happy to help with anything you need. If you want some speed sounds charts, we can get them to you. If you have any questions about what level your child is on, we can also help you with that. If you are interested in a further meeting that could be done over a video call so that you can ask questions live, we are happy to do that, but I'm looking at what we could do to help you with other areas of the phonics lessons in the future. So if you could give us some feedback, if you found this helpful, please do let us know, but thank you very much for coming.